Discover 7 heartwarming bedtime tales that transform sleep into an amazing adventure for kids. Mia was a quiet girl, tucked away in a cozy suburban neighborhood where dreams felt like distant clouds, beautiful yet out of reach. Her mom, Sarah, was a whirlwind of hard work, balancing 2 jobs while Mia wrestled with a different kind of struggle, fitting in. School days were often tough, where her classmates' laughter echoed while she quietly wished to join them. But one chilly afternoon, while dusting off forgotten corners of the attic, she discovered a dusty old book that changed everything. This book once belonged to her late grandfather, a kind veteran who was celebrated for his bravery and unwavering compassion, traits Mia could only dream to embody. As Sarah tucked Mia in each night, a warm smile softened her features, even after the long, tiring days. With her favorite blanket snug around her shoulders, Mia opened the book, the pages yellowed with age, each story igniting a flicker of magic in her heart. The first tale was mesmerizing. It told the story of a farmer whose land faced ruin from a raging storm. But instead of giving up, he called upon his neighbors to join hands and save what they could together. It was a reminder that neighbor helps neighbor, a principle that rang true in Mia's heart. Each night, her confidence warmed a little more, but a battle stirred within her. Her classmates often called her dreams childish, dismissing her loving imagination. Soon, the school announced a storytelling contest. A wave of excitement crashed over Mia, paired with the weight of doubt. Could she dare to share her grandfather's legacy? As much as she craved the chance to tell her tale, she feared the snickers and the dismissals by her peers who preferred more conventional stories. Every heartbeat echoed her mother's sacrifices, battling for a better life. Yet, that same heartbeat drummed up both courage and fear. What would happen if she took the leap? The days sped by, the contest drawing near, and Mia felt caught between her love for storytelling and the expectations of her friends. Finally, the day came, the auditorium buzzing loudly with voices, laughter, and the camaraderie of schoolmates. Mia stood backstage, her heart in her throat, battling insecurities that threatened to swallow her whole. Just when she thought of retreating into the shadows of self-doubt, a soft voice cut through the noise. It was her mother's. "Remember, stories have the power to bring us together," Sarah reminded her. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Holding the book tightly, Mia stepped onto the stage, the spotlight washing over her like a warm hug. As she started to share the tale of the farmer and his community's resilience, she intertwined her own family struggles, mirroring the strength in her mother's tired smile and the flickering light in their home. But when she spotted her classmates' skeptical faces, doubt crept back in, chilling her veins. Would she allow their laughter to drown out her voice? Standing on the precipice of transformation, could she finally claim her passion and honor her grandfather's legacy, or would fear drag her back into obscurity? As she took a breath, Mia stood ready to make the choice that would redefine everything. Mia felt the air grow thick, her pulse racing in her ears as the silence enveloped the auditorium. The bright lights felt almost blinding, yet she forced herself to focus on the pages before her. Each word, each phrase, seemed to leap off the paper and swirl into the warm air, wrapping around her like a cloak. She couldn't back down now. She took a deep breath, feeling a sense of determination rise within her. As she spoke, her voice began to steady. Once upon a time, there was a farmer, she said, sharing how the storm tested the very fabric of their community. She poured her heart into the story, emphasizing the importance of neighbors helping each other. Mia watched as her classmates exchanged glances, some casting doubtful smirks while others leaned in closer, intrigued. With every word she uttered, Mia painted pictures of determination, courage, and the bonds people create in tough times. She thought of her mom as hard work, the relentless struggle to provide, and how the tight-knit community shared in their own challenges. Her mind drifted briefly to the forgotten days spent in the attic, flipping through the pages of her grandfather's book. He had lived a life full of stories that could inspire and uplift. As she neared the end, Mia felt an unexpected swell of confidence. Instead of just finishing her tale, she shared a truth. Just like the farmer found a way to save his harvest, we can find our own ways to shine, even when the world seems dark. We're all part of a community, and every story matters. A ripple of murmurs danced through the auditorium. Mia stood tall, feeling the pulse of connection growing with each passing second. Some of her classmates seemed to soften, expressions shifted from skepticism to something softer, something like understanding. She spotted a few nodding, and it ignited a spark in her heart. Then, as she finished with a deep breath, "So I ask you, how can we be like the farmer? How can we come together when life storms around us?" The room fell silent once more, but it wasn't an uncomfortable silence. It was contemplative, as if she had planted seeds of thought that might take root. Mia stepped back from the microphone, her heart beating fiercely. The applause erupted unexpectedly, filling her ears like a sweet melody. When she glanced toward her classmates, she didn't see dismissive laughter. Instead, there were smiling faces, genuine applause that reverberated with warmth, the kind that filled a room with hope. Even the toughest crowd seemed touched. But in that moment, as people clapped and cheered, a quiet voice in the back caught her attention: the principal. He was speaking to someone. Mia squinted to get a better look as she saw him gesture toward her. What was happening? Something unexpected was in play, something that might change everything again. Just as the applause began to fade, the principal raised his voice. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've decided." Mia's heart raced again, but this time with anticipation. What could he possibly say? Would it be about the contest? Or perhaps something more significant? As the room shifted with whispers and excitement, Mia felt a wave of thrill wash over her. She had taken her leap, but what awaited her on the other side of that leap remained a tantalizing mystery. Would the seeds she had planted today grow into something wonderful? Whatever happened next, she was ready to embrace it all. The principal cleared his throat, and the chatter subsided. Mia held her breath, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. We've decided to hold a community storytelling festival this spring, inspired by the amazing stories shared by our very own students today. A wave of excitement rippled through the auditorium. Mia's face lit up. The opportunity to bring together their community with stories was everything she had hoped for. But then a thought nagged at her. What if my story was just a small part of something bigger? The principal continued, oblivious to her frantic internal dialogue. We're inviting all students to submit their own stories. The best will be shared at the festival, and we'll even have prizes to promote creativity. Mia exchanged glances with her friends, their eyes wide, bubbling with enthusiasm. But she also saw others, the skeptics, who seemed uncertain, eyebrows raised and lips pursed. Would they join in? Would they share their stories? The principal's voice broke through her thoughts. Mia, your narrative has set a fantastic tone for this event. It reminds us that stories unite us. He turned to face her completely, a warm smile lighting up his face. Would you consider being our featured storyteller at the festival? Mia's heart stopped. Featured storyteller? Nobody had ever asked her to take such a significant role before. Doubt crept in like shadows. What if she let everyone down? What if she couldn't live up to the expectations? But deeper down, the spark ignited again. I'd love to. She managed, her voice stronger than she felt. The audience reacted with applause, clapping louder than before, and Mia could hardly believe the warmth surging through her. As the assembly wrapped up, the students filed out of the auditorium, chatter and laughter bubbling. Mia joined her friends, the energy electric. Did you hear that? One of them exclaimed. A festival. We have to write something, Mia. The excitement around her fueled ideas in her mind. Mia wanted to write something special not just for herself but for everyone in her community. She thought of each person, each struggle and joy they had shared over the years. Their stories deserved a voice, and somehow she could help give it to them. But then she wondered, would her voice be enough? Did she have what it took to bring out the stories lying dormant in her classmates, in her community? That evening, sitting on her bed, she pulled out her grandfather's old journal. Each faded page held the wisdom of a man who had written to connect, to uplift. Inspiration washed over her. She could weave a tapestry of stories filled with resilience like the farmer, tales of triumph in the face of adversity. Mia picked up her pen and began to write, each word flowing through her like a river of hope. With every stroke, she asked herself, what if my words reach someone's heart? As the night drew to a close, she glanced out of her window at the stars twinkling above. The universe felt vast, yet she knew her story and those of her neighbors could bridge that space. Just then, she heard a soft knock on her door. It was her mom, holding 2 steaming mugs of cocoa. How was school today, honey? Mia smiled, her heart fuller than before. You won't believe what just happened. Little did she know that this was just the beginning. The next steps she took wouldn't just change her life, but the lives of everyone around her in ways she had yet to imagine. What if these stories intertwined to create something extraordinary? That thought lingered as she sipped her cocoa, ready to dive into the night's adventures, eager to find out what stories waited to unfold. Mia woke up the next morning with a rush of excitement surging through her veins. The sun filtered in through her curtains, casting a warm glow around her room. She had a mission now, something bigger than herself. It was as if the festival had sparked something inside her that had been dormant for far too long. After breakfast, she grabbed her notebook and rushed to school. The halls were filled with a buzz of anticipation. Students were discussing the festival, and she could feel the energy crackling in the air. Her friends, Sam and Lily, caught up with her. Did you start writing your story yet? Sam asked, his eyes sparkling with eagerness. Not yet, Mia admitted. But I have an idea brewing. I'm thinking of collecting stories from everyone in our community, like their hopes and dreams, their struggles. I want it to reflect who we are. Lily's face brightened. That's a brilliant idea. But how will you get people to open up? Mia considered this. I think I'll start with people I know. Maybe they'll share their stories if I share mine first. Her resolve grew stronger with each word. They spent the morning brainstorming. Sam suggested interviewing their neighbors, while Lily offered to help with the design of the stories for the festival. The trio was a whirlwind of ideas, laughter, and determination. With each plan they made, Mia felt less afraid of the weight of her role. As the day unfolded, Mia found herself in front of Mr. Chen, the owner of the local bakery. His warm smile welcomed her as she entered. She had always admired the way he took time to chat with patrons. "Mr. Chen, can I ask you something?" "Of course, Mia. What's on your mind?" he replied, kneading dough with ease. "I'm compiling stories for the storytelling festival. Would you be willing to share yours?" The question felt like a leap into the unknown. Mr. Chen paused, his hands stilling for a moment. "Ah, stories are like bread, dear Mia." He chuckled lightly. "You need them to rise." He began to tell her about his journey from far away, how he chased dreams through hardship, and the joys of building a community one loaf at a time. As he spoke, Mia felt a fire igniting inside her. His story was not just words, it was a lifeline connecting so many others. When he finished, his eyes were bright, and Mia couldn't help but ask, "Can I include your story at the festival? It deserves to be shared." "Absolutely," Mr. Chen said, nodding with encouragement. She left the bakery with a skip in her step, feeling full not just with ideas but with purpose. She could feel the community's heartbeat through the stories that were beginning to emerge. With each new person she spoke to, she realized how much more there was to uncover, even stories she never expected. Later that evening, Mia gathered her friends in her living room, recapping her day. With a notebook full of new stories, she felt a swell of pride and excitement. "It's going to be so much bigger than just me. It's about all of us," she exclaimed. But just then, doubt crept back in. What if no one else feels like sharing? She thought, the fear creeping back to the surface. "Hey, don't worry," Lily said, sensing her unease. "You're already doing more than most. We just need to reach out." Mia nodded, but the weight of the festival loomed in her mind. Would people understand the beauty of sharing their lives? As she climbed into bed that night, she couldn't shake the feeling that this festival was a chance for something transformative. If they could all join together, dig deep, and share their stories, maybe the entire community could come alive in a way they had never experienced before. With her heart racing, she closed her eyes, dreaming of connections waiting to be made. What if those stories acted like a bridge bringing people closer? The possibilities were endless, and in that moment, she realized she might not just be a part of the festival, she could be its heart. But would everyone embrace the journey she was on? Was she ready for what lay ahead? The next morning, Mia woke with a determination she hadn't known before. The sun streamed through her window, a bright promise of the day ahead. She could feel the stories calling out to her, and she jumped out of bed, ready to take on the world. Her first goal was to visit Mrs. Jenkins, the elderly woman living 2 doors down. Mia had seen her tending to her garden, always humming a tune, and she felt a pull toward the rich tapestry of stories she likely held. "Good morning, Mrs. Jenkins," Mia called as she approached the small white house surrounded by colorful flowers. "Mia! What a lovely surprise!" Mrs. Jenkins beamed, her eyes crinkling with warmth. "Come in, dear. Would you like some tea?" "Thank you, but I'd love to hear your story more," Mia replied eagerly. "I'm collecting stories for the festival. I want to share our community's heart. Do you have any tales you'd like to share?" Mrs. Jenkins paused, her gaze drifting to the backyard where the sun danced upon the petals. Oh, dear, where do I even begin? It's been a long life, filled with both joy and sorrow. As Mrs. Jenkins spoke, her words transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary. She shared how she had met Mr. Jenkins during the war, how they whispered dreams to each other over candlelight. The laughter that flowed through her stories brought tears to Mia's eyes. It felt like a window into a world where love both blossomed and endured. Your story is beautiful, Mrs. Jenkins, Mia said softly when they finished. It deserves to be told. Can I share it at the festival? Oh, my dear, I would be honored. Mrs. Jenkins' voice trembled with emotion, and Mia felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. After leaving Mrs. Jenkins' home, Mia felt lighter. She couldn't believe how impactful one conversation could be. The more people she spoke to, the more she realized how interconnected their lives were. Each story was a thread weaving new connections. With her notebook filled with new tales, Mia returned home, excitement bubbling inside her. Sam and Lily were already at the kitchen table, flipping through ideas for the festival design. Mia, you won't believe the stories I heard today. She couldn't help but beam as she recounted her meeting with Mrs. Jenkins. That's amazing! Sam exclaimed, his eyes wide with enthusiasm. What's next? I want to reach out to more people. I think we should hold a storytelling session at the park. It'll be a safe space for everyone to share their stories, Mia declared passionately. Lily clapped her hands in delight. What a perfect idea! We can set up a little area with blankets and snacks. People will feel more comfortable. But as they all began tossing ideas back and forth, Mia's heart suddenly sank. What if no one shows up? What if people still refuse to share? She voiced her worry, her mind swirling. We won't know until we try, Sam replied gently, putting a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Sometimes taking a leap is the best way to bring people together. Mia took a deep breath, absorbing their encouragement. She resolved to step out of her comfort zone and put herself out there. This was bigger than just her. It was about bringing light to others and creating a tapestry of shared experiences. That evening, as she prepared her speech for the park, the weight of uncertainty settled in. Could she really inspire others to find their voice? As she lay in bed that night, she felt a blend of nerves and excitement. What if this was the moment everything changed? What if the festival became a beacon of hope for everyone? With her heart racing, she closed her eyes, dreaming of what lay ahead. She knew she was on the brink of something remarkable. Tomorrow would be a chance to invite the world into their stories, but would everyone be ready to take that leap of faith with her? The sun peeking through Mia's curtains was a call to action. Today was the day. An electric energy coursed through her. She could hardly contain her eagerness as she dressed, rushing through breakfast while her mind replayed the ideas from last night. What would it be like in the park? Would people really come? With her notebook clutched tightly, Mia set out, a vibrant confidence radiating from her. She knew their town was full of stories yet untold. As she walked to the park, she imagined the blanket spread out beneath the old oak tree, the sun-dappled light filtering through the leaves, and the smiles of people willing to share their hearts. Upon arriving, Mia noticed the park already buzzing with life. Joggers passed with nods of familiarity, kids played on the swings, and the scent of blooming flowers filled the air. She felt a flutter of nervous excitement. This was her space now, and she was ready to welcome stories. Hey, Mia! Lily called out as she jogged over, carrying an armful of colorful blankets and a picnic basket. I brought snacks for everyone. It's going to be great, right? Absolutely. I just hope people show up. Mia bit her lip, glancing around. It seemed that everyone was busy with their own plans. Lily noticed Mia's concern and placed a comforting hand on her arm. You're doing something amazing. Even if only a few listen, it still matters. Every story counts. With a deep breath, Mia set up the blankets in a circle. She arranged the snacks in the center and could almost hear the laughter and conversations already echoing around her. It wasn't just about her sharing now, it was about inviting others to speak, to free their voices. As the hour ticked by, Mia began to feel that familiar nagging doubt. Anyone could walk by, what if no one stopped? What if stories were kept silent? Just then, a friendly face appeared. It was Mrs. Jenkins, leaning on her cane with a smile that warmed Mia's heart. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear, she said. Behind her, a few neighbors followed, curious about the gathering. The sight ignited sparks of hope within Mia. One by one, people trailed in, drawn by the scent of cookies and the invitation to share. Nervous but excited, Mia cleared her throat. Thank you all for coming. Today is about us sharing, connecting, and finding the beauty in each other's stories. Applause erupted gently, and Mia felt her nerves ease. She opened her notebook to kick off the session with Mrs. Jenkins' story. As Mrs. Jenkins began, the world around them faded, and only the telling mattered. A few shared memories came trickling in, old tales of summer nights and childhood games, laughter bubbling forth like a spring brook. Mia watched in awe as strangers became friends, voices meeting in beautiful harmony. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky with oranges and pinks, Mia felt the weight of her worries lift. The stories wove a tapestry of connection, enriching everyone present. But in the midst of joy, a thought flickered in Mia's mind. What hidden stories were still waiting to be spoken? She gazed around, realizing these tales were only the beginning. Just as she was savoring the moment, a young girl with wide, curious eyes stepped forward. Can I share my story too? Her voice trembled slightly, and Mia's heart swelled. Of course. Mia beamed, excitement stirring in her chest. What new revelations might this little girl hold? As she moved closer to the girl, Mia couldn't help but wonder, would this young storyteller change everything? The little girl shuffled forward, her sneakers kicking at the grass as she approached Mia. There was a shyness about her, but also a spark of something special. Mia knelt down, meeting her gaze. What is your name? Maddie, she whispered, her cheeks pink. Maddie. I can't wait to hear your story, Mia encouraged, her heart swelling with anticipation. The crowd seemed to hold its breath, signaling their attentiveness. Maddie inhaled deeply, her hand clutching her own notebook tightly. Once there was a puppy named Max, she began, her voice soft but growing steadier with every word. He dreamed of being a superhero. In that moment, the park around them disappeared, as if they had been transported to a world driven by Maddie's imagination. She painted a vivid picture of a small, scruffy puppy leaping into action to rescue his friends from peril. Mia could see it all, the puppy's cape made of an old dish towel, the cartoonish villains he faced, and the laughter of the children he saved. The crowd leaned in closer, captivated by the story. Mia noticed Mrs. Jenkins beaming with pride, and Lily's eyes sparkled with joy. Maddie gained confidence, her little hands animatedly gesturing as she described Max's heroic feats. Just as the story reached its climax, Max rescuing a kitten stuck in a tree, the mood shifted. But then, Max got caught in a storm, Maddie said, her voice wavering. He was scared and lost, and nobody knew where he was. Mia's heart sank. She could feel the tension ripple through the group. The story had taken a turn, mirroring some of their own fears. Will Max find his way home? Someone in the back whispered, a trace of anxious worry seeping into the air. Maddie took a breath, her eyes shining bright like tiny stars. Of course. He remembered the love of his friends. And it gave him strength. She continued, recounting how Max relied on the memories of laughter and love to guide him through the storm. Suddenly, Mia felt a warmth spread through the circle as everyone connected with the young storyteller. They weren't just hearing fiction, they were hearing reflections of their own struggles. They all had storms to face, but they also possessed a community to lean on. And then, Max found his way back. Everyone was waiting for him, cheering for him to be home. Maddie concluded, her voice filled with triumph. Applause erupted, echoing like festive fireworks around the park. Mia could see tears glistening in Mrs. Jenkins' eyes and a soft smile on Lily's face. From shy whispers to heartfelt cheers, the emotions danced among the group, weaving them closer together. How did you come up with that? Mia asked Maddie, genuinely amazed. I was scared of being lost too, Maddie admitted, blinking back tears. But I realized I have my friends, and they give me strength. Those words struck a chord within Mia. It was a revelation. Stories were not just about entertainment, they were about healing. They had the power to uplift and to connect in ways nothing else could. As the gathering continued with more stories and laughter, Mia felt the urge to dig deeper. She wanted to know more about those little stories nested within each person's heart. What else had they faced? But just as Mia prepared to ask another question, the park suddenly darkened as a shadow swept over them. Someone from the crowd shouted, "What is happening?" Panic rippled through the gathering. Mia turned, her pulse quickening. Who or what was causing this disruption? Just as she was about to lift her voice over the chaos, she spotted a figure in the distance, hovering at the edge of the park. Wait, who is that? She wondered aloud. A wave of uncertainty washed over the crowd, and she could feel the tension rise again. What could this mysterious figure possibly want? The figure remained shrouded in shadow, just beyond the park's edge. Mia squinted, trying to make out details. It was tall and still, almost ghost-like under the fading light. The cheerful atmosphere that had filled the park evaporated, replaced by unease. Maddie, stay close, Mia whispered, instinctively reaching for the little girl's hand. Maddie's fingers intertwined with hers, clinging tightly, as wide eyes searched the crowd for reassurance. What's wrong? Who is it? Lily asked, her earlier smile replaced by worry. Mia stood, placing herself protectively in front of Maddie. The murmurs from the gathering grew louder, voices rising with concern. Fear was an uninvited guest, crashing into their temporary sanctuary of stories. Just then, the figure stepped closer. A single beam of twilight illuminated a face hidden beneath a hood. Mia's heart raced. Beneath the cloak, the outline of the person appeared more familiar, curved lips and a gentle expression. As the figure approached, the crowd drew back, uncertainty tightening the air around them. I mean no harm, the figure said, voice soft yet resonant. It was a warm, rich tone, making Mia pause. A shared glance ricocheted through the group, surprise mixed with hesitant curiosity. It's me, the the figure said, lowering the hood to reveal short, tousled hair and kind, familiar eyes. It was Mr. Thompson, the park caretaker. Mr. T. Lily exclaimed, the relief washing over her face like a tide. I've been looking for you all, he announced, stepping into the clearing where the gathering stood. I need your help. The crowd fell silent. Help with what? Mia asked cautiously, aware of the tension hanging like thick fog. There's a little girl, no older than Maddie. She wandered off while playing in the woods nearby. I saw her, but I lost track of where she went. She needs friends right now. Maddie's grip tightened. What's her name? Mr. Thompson hesitated. I'm not sure. She seemed frightened alone. A sense of urgency ignited in Mia. This wasn't just an ordinary story any longer, it was a call to action. We can help, she said firmly, her resolve blossoming. Yes. Maddie piped up. We can find her. The crowd buzzed with energy as hope ignited. They began to chatter, ideas swirling, plans forming. I'll lead the way, Mia declared, taking Maddie's hand. She could see the determination reflected in the child's eyes, mirroring her own. All right, let's do this together, Mr. Thompson said, nodding at Mia, a flicker of gratitude in his eyes. As they began to move toward the woods, the warmth of the community filled the space around them, overshadowing their fears. This wasn't just about finding a lost girl anymore, it was about uniting, about love and strength echoing from one heart to another. Maddie, Mia said softly as they walked, this is your moment to be a hero, too. The little girl's face lit up with pride, and in that moment, they all understood, the stories exchanged in the park were merely the beginning. As they plunged into the dim-lit woods, the excitement and apprehension tangled together. Before long, branches brushed against them, and distant sounds trickled into their ears, a rustle, a cry that might be echoing through the shadows. Do you hear that? Mia whispered, her heart pounding. Yes. Maddie nodded, her grip unwavering. But as they pressed forward, deeper into the woods, Mia felt an icy breath curling around her spine. What other surprises lay hidden in the darkness? Each step turned into a heartbeat, urging them onward. Together, they raced toward the unknown, hoping for courage to shine a light through the dark. The trees climbed higher, their twisted branches forming intricate shadows on the forest floor. The air felt thick with silence, broken only by the soft whisper of leaves brushing against one another. Mia could almost feel the heartbeat of the woods matching her own as they pressed on, fueled by a mix of determination and fear. What if we can't find her? Maddie asked, her voice barely above a whisper, a hint of worry creeping in. Mia stopped and knelt down, meeting Maddie's eyes. We will find her, she said, her voice steady. But we need to be brave, okay? Every step we take is closer to helping her. Maddie nodded vigorously, though Mia could see the uncertainty still dancing in her mind. Together, they moved slowly, scanning the surroundings. The further they ventured, the more the familiar sounds of the park faded, replaced by the eerie calls of owls and the rustling of creatures hidden in the underbrush. Mr. T, how did you know she was lost? Lily asked, her voice a calming breath among the mounting anxiety. I heard her calling out while I was doing my rounds. Once I got close enough, I could see she was alone, but before I could reach her, she ran deeper into the woods. I'm afraid she might be scared, he explained, his face etched with concern. The thought of the little girl alone, feeling lost and frightened, knotted Mia's stomach. We have to hurry, she said, glancing at the darkening sky. What if she is hurt or shook? Do you hear that? Maddie interrupted, her wide eyes peering into the darkness just ahead. There it was again, a soft whimper floating through the trees. Mia felt a surge of hope mixed with urgency. Let us go, she urged, and they moved quickly toward the sound, their hearts racing. As they pushed further into the thickening darkness, the whimper transformed into a soft cry. Mia's heart sank as she picked up her pace. We're coming, she called out, trying to convey comfort despite her racing pulse. They broke through a thicket of brambles and stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center, hunched against an old oak tree, was the little girl. Her golden hair shimmered like a beacon, tears streaking down her cheeks, and fear clouding her bright eyes. Hey, it's okay, Mia said gently, kneeling in front of her. I'm Mia, and this is Maddie. We're here to help you. The girl looked up, her trembling hands pulling her closer to the trunk of the tree. I didn't mean to get lost, I just wanted to play. Her voice cracked and a sob escaped her lips. Maddie stepped forward, her own sadness blooming for the girl. It's okay. You're not alone anymore. We will take you home, she said, her own bravery shining brightly through her fears. As Mia and Maddie reached out, the little girl took a hesitant step toward them. What is your name? Mia asked softly, trying to create a bridge from the shadows to safety. Layla, she sniffled, wiping her tears with the back of her hand. At that moment, the warmth of unity wrapped around them, casting aside the chill of the growing darkness. They would not leave her here. Together, they were stronger, as strong as the bonds of friendship and kindness that wove them tight. All right, Layla, let us get you home, Mia said, offering her hand. Layla hesitated for only a moment before grabbing it, their fingers intertwining like vines. As they turned to head back, a rustling sound nearby startled them, igniting anxiety in the air once more. Mia's heart quickened. What was that? She asked, scanning the shadows around them. Layla squeezed Mia's hand tighter, and Maddie clutched her own. Just then, a low growl emerged from the dark, sending shivers down Mia's spine. What is it? Maddie whispered, eyes wide. Mia felt a chill creeping up her arms as they stood there, all wishing for the strength to face whatever lurked in the trees and wondering if there was any more courage left for one more challenge as they took a cautious step back. The growl intensified, as if the forest itself was warning them of the danger that loomed nearby. With hearts racing and fear prickling their skin, the group stood frozen. Mia looked at Layla's terrified face, then at Maddie, their small hands intertwined in an unbreakable bond. Stay close, Mia whispered, her voice shaky yet resolute. They had all come so far, they wouldn't let fear tear them apart now. Just then, a shadow emerged from behind the trees, a large dog with matted fur and tired eyes. It looked as scared as they felt, its stake in the battle for survival clear in the way it held its gaze. The crowd's tension eased slightly, breath catching in relief. It's just a dog, Mia said, stepping forward slowly, chin raised. Hey there, buddy. Are you lost too? The dog, seeming to sense the heroism in Mia's voice, approached cautiously. As it reached them, the growl softened into a whimper, and it gently nuzzled against Layla's hand. Can I pet him? Layla asked, eyes wide and shining with wonder. A flicker of hope sparked in her expression, showing the bond people, and animals, can share. Of course. Maddie encouraged, moving closer. He looks friendly. As the trembling little girl began to stroke the dog's fur, easing its nerves, Mia felt the weight within her heart shift. This moment wasn't just about finding safety, it was about connection, healing, and coming together as a community. What should we call him? Maddie pondered aloud, her fear forgotten for the moment. Maybe Brave, Layla said, her voice stronger now as she continued petting the furry creature. With that simple word, a new energy surrounded them. Mia looked around at her friends, sensing a shared understanding. Fear had morphed into a determination to face any challenge, and Brave became a symbol of their journey of courage, companionship, and the importance of sharing their stories, holding their truth close to them. Okay, let us get you all home, Mia declared, taking Layla's hand. And Brave too. You can join us. With renewed strength, they began to navigate through the thickets, guided by the faint light of the moon filtering through the branches. The journey back felt lighter, conversations bubbling between them. They shared how they had come to exist in this moment, the importance of every person's voice, each unique tale adding warmth to their tapestry. As they reached the edge of the woods, a wave of relief washed over Mia. The familiar sounds of the park enveloped them once again, their safe haven calling them home. When they finally emerged, the park was dotted with the remaining attendees of the storytelling festival. Faces that were once clouded with worry lit up with joy and relief as they saw Layla, now holding the victorious title of that day as hero. As the crowd gathered, applauding and cheering for Layla, tears brimmed in Mia's eyes. She realized that everyone there had played a role in their shared journey. Stories were instrumental bridges between souls, their voices creating a chorus that echoed truths and triumphs alike. Among the crowd, Mr. Thompson stepped forward, greeting them with pride. Well done, everyone. Now, let us celebrate this beautiful community we've built together. Mia looked upon her friends, at Layla and Brave, and felt the overwhelming gratitude fill her heart. Today wasn't just about the stories we tell, Mia said, but also the moments we forge together, the connections we create. Her words settled like a soft blanket over the gathering, imbibing an electric sense of appreciation for shared humanity. Underneath the blanket of stars, Mia knew that this was just the beginning of many more stories to come. As they all convened in the park, stories were exchanged, laughter erupted, and newfound friendships blossomed, revealing the endless potential for connection that lay just beneath the surface. In that moment, Mia felt alive, and she knew that she had not only honored her grandfather's legacy but had also carved a path for her community to step boldly into their own narratives. The sun slipped behind the horizon, a promise of a brand new day rising on the horizon. Together, they would continue to share and grow in the light of their compassion, showing that every story, no matter how small, had the power to transform them all. As Mia hugged Layla close, she vowed to always remember, together, they had faced darkness and emerged into light, creating a chapter filled with courage, hope, and the promise of connection still to come. And as a new dawn approached, Mia felt a surge of inspiration to keep writing, to keep sharing, to let every voice be heard. Finally, the essence of community flowed through their hearts, building a bridge strong enough to carry their stories forever onwards. Now, to all of you watching this journey unfold, let these stories inspire you. Don't wait, take action now in your own world. Share your story, connect deeply, and be part of the beautiful tapestry of life. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support, and you need to subscribe now. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.